Can you say cheese?
Cheese.
All right.
Hold on.
You gonna help me get in?
Oh, exactly.
Oh, the fence is not on. It's okay. It's not gonna shock you. Here.
Oh, it's growing, Mom.
You ready to go in?
It's growing, Mom. It's...
That's all right. Let's go in. What's your favorite thing to pick?
Whoa. That's a kale. Oh, this is dinosaur kale.
That's dinosaur kale?
And
Show me.
that's dinosaur kale.
That's right.
It's a dinosaur kale.
Do you like to eat it?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Is it yummy?
Yes.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wrangling Rutherfords. My name is Farah, and today I thought I'd take you on a walk in the garden with me. I just thought I would do a garden tour and just kind of share everything that's growing in the garden right now and document where it's at in its stage right now so we can see lots of good growth over the season. So I live in South Carolina, in the Midlands of South Carolina specifically. I'm in Zone 8A, and this is my 4th year growing in this garden space. So the first year, which was actually back in 2020, we just plowed everything up and tilled it and planted a garden that way. I had very little experience with gardening then, actually pretty much none, and I've learned all this over the past 3 years or so. So there are many different gardening styles. The one that I choose to use right now is mainly a no-dig style of gardening. I really enjoy that. I still have a lot to learn about it, and I'm sure I don't do it perfectly. It's always a work in progress, but this is what I have right now. I have 10 beds behind me that are about 3 feet by 45-ish feet, and then I have 4 raised beds and 2 green stalks and just various pots and planters. But this is where I try to grow all the things that I can.
Oh!
Oh no!
Let's do it again. But let's do it again.
Well, you took the bricks off, bud. I also have been making my own compost and been learning about that. I have a little helper with me today. This is Isaac, my 3-year-old. Where'd you go? He's hiding there. Hey, bud. So Isaac just took all the bricks and rocks off of the tarp, and now the tarp's blowing away. But he's having fun, and that'll keep him occupied while you and I go walk around the garden. So just a quick general overview. I have 4 raised beds with green stalks in between, a bench, which you can't see, but we'll show you in a second, and then I have 10 no-dig beds, which are long and narrow like that. We'll actually start with the one part that is not my own. This is my son Micah's garden. Micah is 6, and he wanted to have a garden of his own. And he took these little brick pavers and did a border, and he made his own garden. He planted these carrots. He has a little micro tomato there, a strawberry plant. There's some beans in the back and a few beets. But this is a little area that he maintains, and he loves it. And besides Micah's garden, we have some calendula, which this is my first year growing calendula. And in this bed, we just have mainly an assortment of different types of herbs. Borage, which the bees, as you can tell, really love the borage. That has attracted so many pollinators. But we have borage, we have some parsley down here. Lots of thyme. I really love how the thyme looks this time of year. Comfrey, some pansies that are on their way out. Some oregano, rosemary, and some chamomile. And back there in the back, some chives. Here I have a green stalk that is filled with strawberries, which are sending out all sorts of runners. I'll have to propagate those and get me some more strawberry plants. This is probably my favorite spot. This is my dahlia bed. I do have one echinacea that's growing up on the edge, but all these dahlias are probably my favorite. We had to take a quick break. Are you having fun? Isaac's climbing the compost pile. This right here, this is probably my favorite dahlia. It just opened up yesterday. And it's so beautiful with the yellow center and the white on the edges. But all of these dahlias just came out of a variety pack from Costco, I think. So I have no idea what the names are. This is a planter full of poppies. They look kind of rough right now. We had quite a lot of rain this past weekend and it really beat them up, but they look nice. It's my sitting spot with my kitties under there. That's Ric Flair and Randy Savage. They're the best garden kitties. I have some leftover basil that I don't have room for, so I'm going to give those to friends. These are some calla lilies that my daughter gave me for Mother's Day. This bed is filled with kale that I really need to harvest and do something with, but it just looks so nice. I have a few other just random herbs and things over here. This is my second green stalk planter. I have strawberries in the top, some different kale in the middle, and then some calendula that I put in around the bottom, and it's filled out really nicely. Over here in these planters, I have different mints that we're using for teas. This is pineapple mint, this is orange mint, and then this is cat mint. And then in this raised bed behind it, they look kind of puny right now, but these are potatoes, and they should be ready to harvest in the next few weeks. They're starting to die back and look bad, so that pretty much means they're done growing. So I don't know how well you can see it, but back behind me is another row of all potatoes. They're starting to die back and look kind of puny. I don't know if I'm doing them correctly. I had somebody reach out to me and say, wow, your potatoes are planted very close together. But that's the way I've always done it. I actually have 3 rows of potatoes in this 3-foot wide bed. And that's just how I've grown them for the past 3 years, and it's worked, but I'm wondering if I could do better and if I would get more harvest by spacing them out more. So I might try another round in the fall and just see how that works. Maybe spacing them out a little further and plant less potatoes in this spot and compare my harvest. We'll see. I'm not sure. It's all an experiment. Hey, you're distracting me, bud. Please, hey, don't pick that. It is a flower. I love it, but I want to let it stay there, okay? We'll pick another one. All right, so our potatoes are over here. This row here is mainly peppers, but you'll probably notice as we walk through that I really have interplanted lots of different varieties of plants in the same rows to try to just keep things beautiful, because that's how I like it. So here on the end, this is a type of Rudbeckia. On this arched cattle panel here, I have some melon. I actually think these are Kajari melons. I don't remember which ones I planted. I have some borage here. And then down this row are all of my sweet peppers. I have a variety of giant red Marconis, some shishitos, some coral bells, some California wonders, just quite an array of different types. This is some type of melon. I'm not sure what kind that volunteered. So I'm just leaving it here to grow around the pepper. Let's see. No cucumbers on there yet. Oh, here we go. We have our first small little cucumber there. I forgot this variety. I think it might be called Muncher. But we have quite a few little cucumbers. Let's see. Oh, another thing. Look at this. This is a Moon and Stars watermelon. You can tell by the variegated foliage. And I did not grow watermelons here last year. That volunteered. I grew watermelons all the way on the other side of the garden, but this popped up right here, so we're gonna let it grow. These are different basils, a blue spice basil, a type of Ghana basil, I don't remember the exact name. And then I have a few squash down here. These are patty pan squash. Look at that pretty bloom. Okay, on this row here I have a cattle panel trellis. That one side is tomatoes and this side are my spicy peppers. These are big Whopper jalapenos from Park Seed. And this, I just think it's really pretty. This is a fish pepper that has variegated foliage, and the peppers themselves are also variegated and striped. And this is a Puma pepper, which will have a deep purple and green striped pepper as well, a spicy kind. That's a Black Beauty zucchini with a melon that just volunteered again. You can tell my garden is covered in volunteer melons this year. Another Moon and Stars volunteer melon. And here we have more squash. This is a Black Beauty zucchini. That is the female blossom of a zucchini. And you can tell because it has the blossom here and a small little fruit. So that's a female blossom, and then right beside it is a male blossom because it just has a stem with no fruit at the end of the blossom. So male and female blossoms on a squash plant. Some more squash, more borage, and more little melons. Here are nasturtiums. I like to plant flowers at the end. Hey kitty! At the end of every garden bed as much as I can. So I have nasturtiums here. And down this row I have, well, I mentioned it before on the other end, but I have 2 cattle panels of tomatoes. I kind of mirrored the same thing over here on this end of the garden, but all in all I have 40 tomato plants. This particular row here is all cherry tomatoes. You can see we're starting to set quite a bit of fruit. These are blue boarberries from Wild Boar Farms. These are black strawberry. You can see more here. Black strawberry cherry tomatoes. These are Brad's Atomic Grape. Hi kitty. You just want to be with me, don't you? What do you have? Oh yay! Be gentle, okay?
Yeah, it's so cute.
Alright. And these little tomatoes here, these are similar. They're also from Brad Gates. They're called blue creamberries.
And it's got pink cherry.
I have a few garlic that really haven't done well this year. I've pulled some of them, but those are the ones that are remaining. Hopefully they'll size up a little bit. More of those volunteer melons. And here are leeks. So I started these leeks from seed back in February, I think. It was either January or February. And I planted them out in April, end of April after our last frost. And now I'm wondering if I planted them at the wrong time of year. Here in our section of the south, oh, it's windy. Oh, okay, now that the wind died down. So here in our section of the south, we do onions either completely overwinter, like some will plant them in the late fall, like November, and overwinter them. I planted mine in January, and I'm wondering if I should have started my leeks earlier and transplanted them out as well at that time. So we'll see how they do. They might not do well in the heat. I'll probably try them again in the fall. I probably should have researched those more before I planted them, but you learn, right? Let's look at tomatoes. Hey Isaac, you want to look at the tomatoes?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of tomato this is?
It's the tomato. It's Veggies.
Yeah, it's called a Black Beauty.
One pail, 2. And the kitten's too cute.
Can I see your kitten? Be gentle, okay?
Be gentle.
That's right. So down on this tomato trellis, I have different slicers. These are some Black Beauty tomatoes. That one's looking nice. I try to put some marigolds in between. This one's just now starting to set some tiny fruit, but this is Berkeley tie-dye. Here's a tiny little Paul Robeson. And this one will get much bigger. This is a Hungarian heart. This is a row of onions that are getting ready to harvest soon. Of course, I put some basils on the edge there. You'll find basil everywhere in the garden this year. But I planted a variety of Texas Legend, Yellow Granex, and some Southern Belle. I'm really happy with how most of them look. This guy is pretty big here. Not all of them are that big, but a lot of them are decent. That one looks nice. So I'm pretty sure these are close to getting ready. I know that once the onions are ready, their tops will start falling over like that. And I think you want about half to 75% of the tops to fall over before you just go ahead and harvest all of them. So we're getting close. I think we're probably a week or so away.
The orange one is pretty. It's an orange.
It's an orange kitty?
Yeah, it's orange kitty. He's got a bug on his face.
A bug?
Yes.
Well, help him out. Take good care of him, okay? On the end of the onion row here, I have some squash on this trellis. This is Delicata squash, and over here on this side are Georgia Candy Roaster. Both of those are very new to me. On this side, I have a few plants of crookneck yellow squash, and down here, a whole row of corn. This is all Silver Queen corn, and it is looking quite nice. On the edges of the corn here, I have a few zinnias that have, hello little zinnia, that have volunteered. That's about to bloom soon. I'm happy for those because I didn't start nearly as many zinnias as I wanted to, and so many have volunteered, and I'm happy to see them. Just to the side of the corn, we have more tomatoes. Oh gosh, I forgot what your name is, but you look nice there. So I really did try to label all of my tomatoes, but of course, when you grow a lot of them, sometimes the labels fall out or you misplace them. And what I did is I took my labels and I wrote on them in Sharpie marker and Sharpie fades in the sun. So I know what they were when I planted them, and I know what varieties I planted, but many of the tags have faded, so I can't read what they are right now. So I'll just have to wait till the fruit ripens so I'll know what tomatoes I have where. There's a few of them I can identify just by how it looks and because I remember where I planted some of them, but I've forgotten many of them. Oops. So down here we have, of course, more nasturtiums on the end, some basil planted in the middle of the trellis here. So on this arch trellis here I have sugar kiss melons. These are from my sister-in-law. She saved the seeds for me. They're little cantaloupes that are supposedly very sweet, so we're gonna try those this year. They're just now starting to trail where I can get them to climb up the trellis, but they're still little. Down here we have more borage to bring in the pollinators and lots of beans on this row. I don't remember exactly which varieties I planted where, but I know I have some dragon tongue beans and some royal burgundy beans. I bet these are the royal burgundies since they have dark purple flowers. I have a few volunteer sunflowers. This guy's gonna look nice very soon. Some basils that I planted in between. This is blue spice basil, and I really like how it's starting to look. These are silver slicer cucumbers, and they're starting to put out some little baby fruits here. They're really starting to take off. I'm excited about those. So back behind the silver slicer cucumbers, I forgot to mention these. These plants right here, these are new to me this year. This is called a garden huckleberry. I started these from seeds that I got from a seed swap. I think actually I got these from Lisa at Homesteading and Hungry. She was at that seed swap, and I decided to try them out just to see how they grow, but I already got some unripe little huckleberries on there. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. Hey, I just found my first zinnia bloom this year. That was not there yesterday. Hey, little guy. On this side, I have some little chamomile plants that are still young. And these are Kalima beans, more bush beans. And, man, I forgot the names of what I planted here. I think these are purple teepee, if I remember correctly. But they will be blooming very shortly and have some beans soon. And then over here is another new thing for me. This is edamame, or soybeans. I'm growing these for my kids because they love to get edamame anytime we go to a Japanese restaurant. All right, over here on this row, I have ground cherries. These are sweet little berries that kind of grow in a husk there, kind of similar to tomatillos. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And here on the outside, we have okra. This is a tiny okra plant. This one's doing a little bit better. But I just have a variety of pink Okinawa okra and red burgundy okra, Clemson spineless, and heavy hitter. I have a few more zinnias here, alongside some more cucumbers. Some more basil, always looking nice. One more garden huckleberry. So this patch here are chicken and dumplings field peas that I got from Jessica at Roots and Refuge. Some of the leaves look like they've taken a little bit of damage. We've had a few cold snaps, and I'm wondering if that's what it is. But the new growth looks pretty good, so I think they'll be fine. But these are my first time growing field peas or any type of shelling bean, shelling pea. So I'm excited about that. And this is more okra. I like standing over here in this corner and looking at the garden from this angle. I think it looks so good right now. So we have 3 more rows left, and these are some sunflowers. These are mammoth sunflowers that I planted. And then this whole row going down is alternating sunflowers and sweet potatoes. I ordered some sweet potatoes from Haas Seeds, and I got a mixture of Georgia Jet and Beauregard. There's a little weed there. Goodbye, weed. So Georgia Jet and Beauregard alternating all the way down with sunflowers. And hopefully those will fill out really nicely soon. And then also over here on this side, I have more sunflowers alternating with watermelon. So watermelon, sunflower, watermelon, sunflower, all the way down. As you can tell, I like to interplant sunflowers among the viney things, because I just think that makes for a really nice looking garden once they're all filled out. Just makes me happy. Okay, so on this last row here, I have some okra that I got from my friend Stan Shoemaker. He shared some of his okra seeds with me that are an heirloom variety that I honestly do not remember the name of, but they're really prolific. Also some more volunteer watermelons. That is the name of the game this season. Volunteer watermelon there, okra here. And as you go down, here we go. Volunteer melon, okra, okra, volunteer melon. So around this watermelon here in this patch, I planted some pink eye purple peas. They have not sprouted yet, but hopefully they will soon. And then down here I have a few more sunflowers. These are actually pro cuts that I'm experimenting with this year. And a random patch of potatoes, just some Odden potatoes that were sprouted that my parents gave me, and I stuck them here on the end. This is my other garden companion, Ace, and his devoted friend, Randy Savage. Anyway, there she is. That's what we got going in the garden this year, here at the end of May. And I'm looking forward to a lot of food. Isn't that right, Ace? So I hope you enjoyed taking a stroll with me today around the garden. I'll probably do another updated video in about 2 weeks, just so we can see how many things have changed and what good food is rolling in. I'm really excited about the garden this year. Last year, I still grew a garden this exact same size, and it started out really great, but I didn't do a whole lot of garden tours or videos, mainly because I was very pregnant. I actually delivered at 41 weeks in July at the height of tomato season, and I was tired and I couldn't breathe when I bent over, and it made gardening and breathing on video very difficult. And so after the baby was born, I just kind of took some time off, and the garden basically just went unattended and all went to weeds, and I didn't harvest near as much food as I had hoped for. Although it was growing, I just didn't have the energy and the means to harvest it and really tend to the garden. So this year, it's going to be a better year. I can just feel it. I have a lot more energy. The baby's doing great, and the weather this year has been really nice, actually. It's been kind of unpredictably cool, much cooler than normal, but it's made for some nice gardening time. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
was at the store.
Are those Cheetos?
No.
What are they?
Let's go. Cheetos, Veggie, Veggies.
Okay. Enjoy.